Hey, 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 it's Dr. J. How are you doing today? We are back with our book, Be Your Future Self Now by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Be Your Future Self Now. And in this book, we're on part one, and we are going to be today on page 31. We are slowly moving through this book, but we're going to speed it up. We're going to speed it up. Believe me, because there's some really good nuggets in here. So we have been talking about the threats to your future self, and this book lists 7 threats to your future self. Today we're going to be talking about threat 4. But before I get into it, let's do a recap of threat 1, 2, and 3. Threat 1, without hope in your future, your present loses meaning. Threat 2, a reactive narrative about your past stunts your future. Threat number 3, being unaware of your environment creates a random evolution. And then threat 4, being disconnected from your future self leads to myopic decisions. So we're not connected. When you're not connected to your future self, you make stupid decisions in the present. Ooh. Let's dig in. Let's dig in. So get this book wherever you get books. Get the audio book, or you can listen while I read along. Okay, so here is a quote by Dr. Hale Hirschfield, and it's rather lengthy. The idea of long-term planning is a relatively new concept from a human evolution standpoint. We weren't evolved to live this long and have to make plans for the very distant future. Storing food for the next month or two, sure, but to think about stocking away a retirement nest egg in case I'm retired for 30 years, this is relatively foreign. You couple that novel aspect of planning with the idea that we're very swayed by everything that is happening in the present. It's very easy to ignore the long, long run and really hard to ignore all the pulls on our attention right now. So, spending more money right now and eating something delicious right now, it's appealing to do those things because we know we get the rewards right now. But to not do those things, to not spend, to not eat unhealthy so that our long run selves can be better off, well, that's a hard proposition for a lot of people because the present seems more powerful. Mm, that was the quote. As a species, we haven't evolved to plan 20 years into the future. As a rule, our decision making is myopic, means short sighted, and lacks imagination. We're heavily incentivized to seek rewards in the present, which can greatly cost our long term future selves. According to Dr. Hale Hirschfield, a UCLA psychologist who has invested 15 years studying the future self concept, the first step to far-sighted decision making is being connected to your future self. Connection starts with having empathy for your future self, just as you have empathy for another person. Ooh. To have empathy, you consider the other person's perspective. You try to understand where they are coming from and what matters to them. Importantly, building a connection to your future self requires seeing your future self as a different person from who you see yourself today. This does not come naturally. As a rule, most people assume their future self is basically the same person they are today. Refer to truth number 2, which we haven't got to yet. By seeing your future self as a different person, you appreciate that this person sees things differently than you do now. They care about different things than you do now. They act differently than you would now. Another step of empathy is appreciating how your actions or inactions impact the other person. In this case, how are your current behaviors impacting your future self? The more conscious you become of how everything you do right now impacts the person you are in the future, the better and more thoughtful your actions will be. Okay. Herschel found a direct correlation between the level of connection you have with your future self and the quality of your decisions right now. Beyond empathy, building a deep connection is truly like liking the other person. You see the other person as your friend, someone you care about, who genuinely cares about you. That other person, your future self, genuinely cares about you in the now. Wow. Okay? When you truly care about another person, you aren't put off by making sacrifices of your time, energy, and resources for them. You'll sacrifice spending money now so your future self can have more money later. You'll sacrifice monetary gratifications to invest in education, health, and relationships. Moving from liking to loving your future self is the difference between sacrificing for someone and investing. When I truly care about something or someone, I happily invest in that thing or relationship. If I care about piano, I'll invest more to learn to play. If I care about someone, I'll invest in the growth of that relationship. This is good. If I care about me, I invest in myself so I can continually upgrade my thinking, opportunities, upgraded, skills, upgraded. Well, when I care about my future self, I happily invest in my future self's well-being, my future self's situation because I care and I'm happily invested in it. So I'm happily invested in my well-being, in the situations, in the freedoms, and the characteristics. Ooh, I happily make these investments. I want to make these investments because I know that every time I invest in my future self, my life gets better. As you invest in your future self, you are more connected to it, to them. You love whatever you invest yourself in. You become committed to whatever you invest yourself in. Over time, whatever you invest in grows and compounds. Investing in your future self brings you closer to that person you are growing into. As you love them more, your future self expands exponentially. As your vision of your future self grows, your present happiness and motivation increases. Dan Sullivan said the only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. Let me say that again. The only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. A clear and obvious threat to your future self is not being connected to the future self. Hensfield found that most people don't spend much time thinking about their future self, caught up in the short term dopamine of the present, like randomly scrolling through social media, binge eating, or binge spending. Seeking short term rewards creates long term cost. When you engage in short term reward seeking, that produces negative long term consequences, then you're costing your future self. Whenever you engage in long term reward behaviors where the benefits continue long into the future, you're investing in your future self. Everything you do is either a cost to or an investment in your future self. Cost puts your future self deeper in debt. Investment makes your future self wealthier. So, do you want your future self to be broke and unhealthy or fit and free? The more you engage in short term reward seeking, the fuzzier your long term future self will become. You won't be able to envision beyond the next few days, weeks, or maybe months. The more you invest in long term rewards, the clearer your future self becomes. This creates what Hirschfeld calls vividness, an extremely advanced form of connection with your future self. Vividness. The more vivid and detailed your future self, the more direct can be your process to get there. A vivid future is a compelling future. Practiced at investing in your future self and achieving small milestones along the way, you'll envision in extreme detail your future self as a person, your environment, context, and daily life. Herschel found that it's actually easier to bring your future self to you. It's easier to bring your future self to you than to go to your future self. Ooh, it's easier to bring it to you than you go after it. Okay? So make your future self vivid and detailed by writing a letter from your future self to your current self. Choose whatever time frame you want. For example, put yourself in the shoes of your future self 5 years from now. Imagine what their life is like, and then write a letter as the future self talking to the current you. Have your future self describe what their life is like. Don't get complicated. Don't overthink. Take as long or as little as you want on this, 5 minutes or 60 minutes. Have the flexibility and imagination to just write. As you practice imagining your future self, you get better and clearer at being connected to it. Really, you're connecting your current self to your future self. So you're connecting them. So as you practice imagining your future self, you get better and clearer and being connected with them. If in the beginning it feels a little awkward or difficult, then just write in broad, general terms, but also be playful. This is simply a conversation between your future self and your now self, your current self. No one else is here. No one else is looking. Have fun. Through this exercise, I've been able to see the exact house where my future self will live. I can see how my future self spends time, how much money they make, and how happy they feel. The more I invest in my future self, the more we collaborate together to create a profoundly powerful life. For additional help connecting with your future self, visit futureself.com. There you can write a letter from your future self to make them more vivid. The fourth threat to your future self is not being connected to them. You will not be able to proactively create the life you want if you're not connected to your future self. You won't be able to think and strategize long term. You'll be caught up by endless distractions throughout your day. Your decisions will be myopic. And if you need to look up what that word means again, it's spelled MYOPIC. You'll cost your future self greatly, putting them deeper in debt in all ways. And that's it. That's the end of threat number 4. You got to tune in. Make sure you like and subscribe for threat number 5 as we learn these 7 threats to our future self. It's getting good. It's getting good. So like and subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. J. I hope you enjoyed something today.